Hey everyone, Alice here and welcome back to my playthrough of Ace Attorney Investigations Collection. We are playing the first game in the collection, and in part 1 we finished the demo, which is the first half of the first case. In this video we are hopefully going to complete the first case. If you haven't watched part 1, I recommend you do so before watching this, as I will be continuing from my demo save file. If you've played the demo yourself though, you're all caught up, so let's go. So I could just click continue here and I can carry on. Let's go. Yes, so we're on episode 1, Turnabout Visitor. Let's go. I did choose the chibi characters because I played the demo with the pixel sprites, and after that I saw a few screenshots of the HD chibi ones and I thought, oh, they're really cute, I want to go with those. Look at all the detail you can see, as characters, the facial expressions and things like that. So we just got kicked out of Edgeworth's office by Mr. Portsman. He was taking over the investigation of the murder that happened in Edgeworth's office. So we just got kicked out and we're going to figure out what we can do. March 14th, 4:18 AM. Oh, I'd be dead on the floor asleep. Prosecutor's building, 12th floor hallway. What is with that prosecutor? I can't believe how rude he was. It was unbelievable. Please maintain your professionalism, detective. I'm gonna find some real solid evidence proving Maggie's innocence. You'll see, sir. But we've been kicked out of the crime scene, sir. True. So then what now? Looks like my life's fallen into yet another gigantic ditch. Oh no, we'll help you, don't worry. We can do this. Do not despair, Miss Bird. We can overcome this as well. There are many other places and things we should be looking into anyway. Huh? Really, sir? For example, this hallway. Oh, I can see something already, but I'll keep it under my hat for now. The linchpin of his argument against Miss Bird is related to the master key. Yeah, that's true. He said it was. He said that only Edgeworth had it, or Gumshoe at that time had it because Edgeworth was away. And then he said it was Maggie's fault because she's the head of security. But Maggie said that the key was stolen. So, who stole it? In that case, this hallway is the perfect place to look for more information regarding the mystery surrounding my door. Okay, begin investigation. Let's have a look-see. Do you want to talk to Edgeworth? Oh, that was with T, wasn't it? I wonder what he'll say. Let's see. Yes, sir. Anything of interest? Talking to witnesses? Go on. Detective Gumshoe, you look rather intrigued by something. Care to share? Oh, it's nothing. But I noticed that Mr. Portsman calls his partner Jim. Yeah, he said that it's because he just calls everybody, well, he calls 3 other people in his life Jim. It just seems a bit rude, like he doesn't care about people. But, and the detective in that Sunday night drama, All My Cops, is named Jim too. Where is he going with this? Okay, I bet one of them is a big fan of that show. You seem to know a little something about it yourself. I take it you watch it too. Of course. The tight bond of friendship between prosecutor and detective is great, sir. Oh no, does he like watch it and just superimpose himself and Edgeworth over the characters? Oh. But it's nothing compared to the super strong friendship we have. Ho ho ho. Friendship, detective? I think you're mistaking it with pity. You are so mean. How can you say that, sir? And after all we've been through too. Oh, he looks so sad there. I got an achievement for that, for listening to Gumshoe talk about Jim. I feel guilty. It's not me, it's Edgeworth. Talking to witnesses. About Miss Bird. No way she's the killer. Please don't tell me you buy into that accusation, sir. Rest assured, I think she's innocent. However, I need to ask her a few things regarding her security guard position. Well, if you're only asking, that's okay. Just stand next to her and then press space. Yeah, I knew that. I just wanted to hear all the dialogue. Read all the dialogue, I suppose. Then you two can talk about whatever topic you pick. When you want to ask her about evidence, all you have to do is present it to her with T. Okay, good to know. After you choose what to show her, press T again, and off you two go. I recommend showing different people different things. You'd be surprised by what they say. Thank you for the explanation, though I don't recall asking for one. We literally did. Okay. Oh, just so you know, sir, you can show me evidence in the same way too. I do believe it's time to get down to business and ask some questions of Miss Bird. Ignored again. Oh, Edgeworth, you need to be nicer to Gumshoe. He's so helpful. Look at him with his little crayon behind his ear. Alright, I want to have a look at this. Oh, is it not going to let me? No. Oh. No, face this way. Aha, there we go. It is kind of tricky to get him in there. Maybe I need to use keyboard. Yeah, I think I'll use keyboard because it is a little bit hard to get in the right place with the mouse. So I'm going to use keyboard from now on. Okay, space. Let's have a look. I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious looking nook and cranny. Well, it's this, right? That looks like the file. The file that was missing. Looks like it was just dumped out here. It's... Isn't this that missing 0 series file, sir? No doubt about it. The bloody letters mark it as clear as day. There seem to be a few pages missing. Oh, so they took out what they wanted and then... Yeah. Our thief took only what was necessary and left the rest behind. So what are these 0 files about, sir? I guess they've got something worth stealing in them, huh? Not particularly. It's just a collection of court case files. However, the cases within these files are not mine. Huh? They belonged to the High Prosecutor that used to occupy my current office. I have my reasons, but let's just say I was charged with keeping them as they were. Then that means the thief must have also wanted the file for a specific reason, right? It would seem so. Only the pages related to that case from 10 years ago are missing. I wonder why anyone would care about such an old case. Indeed. Let's investigate this. A well-crafted, high-quality sofa for visitors. Stitching is excellent. Talk about a luxury waiting area. These babies are also great for napping, you know. Oh, he doesn't sleep here, does he? Oh, I can imagine that. You would sleep even out here, detective? In a hallway? Whenever I do, I always wind up dreaming about giving testimony up on the stand. But it always ends the same way, me getting trounced by a lawyer. Isn't that awful? Maybe I should give it a try sometime, to envision myself winning naturally. No, I think that kind of thing just only works for him. Oh, what about this? I bet the thief's not under here. I guess there isn't enough space for anyone to hide under here anyway. I mean, if someone could contort themselves to fit, I'd be really impressed. I'm sure someone could. Sounds to me like somebody has already tried at least once before. Oh, is that what he was getting at? He's tried it, he can't do it, so if anyone can, he'd be really impressed. Bless him. He's such a sweetie. Okay, right, let's, what is this basketball doing here? Yeah, I see you, Maggie, but I want to look at this first. Oh no, not this guy. He is like the first, I remember he's like the tutorial guy you go up against, I believe in the first Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney game. I remember his little tapping his forehead animation very well. He says objection in a really high nasally voice as well. Anyway, enough of that. Let's have a look at this. What is a basketball doing here? That's Mr. Portsman's prized possession, sir. Oh yeah, he's got like some sports thing going on, hasn't he? He's got like a gold medal around his neck. I heard he also plays soccer, dodgeball, and even tennis. And not a single one of those sports is suitable to be played in a hallway. Yeah, he's even got like a basketball net up here. strange. Yeah, in my playthrough of the demo, if you've watched it, you'll know. But in the very first cutscene, so a lot of these cases actually in the Ace Attorney games, it will give away who the killer is. In the opening cutscene, or it'll show them, or it'll show their silhouette. And sometimes, you know, it's not as it seems, and actually it's trying to lead you along that path to think, they're the killer. But it very clearly shows Portsman with the gun, and it pans up to his face, and it says about him being a genius prosecutor and things like that. Well, I guess I just wasn't paying attention, because I totally forgot that I'd seen that. And then later on, when he came in, I'd gotten really into the game, so I didn't recognise him. And he's there, you know, being suspicious and trying to frame it on everybody. And there's me going, he's suspicious. Is he the killer? I don't trust him. Yes, he's the killer. Were you not paying attention? I wasn't, clearly. I was too busy reading. Anyway, let's talk to Maggie. I was wondering if I may speak with you for a bit concerning this case. I've always been a big fan of the courtroom, but this is like a dream where I'm being cross-examined by the Miles Edgeworth. I can't let this chance pass me by. I must remember to ask her about the master key. I should jog her memory by showing my notes to her with tea. Okay, let's ask this stuff first. I like seeing them ticked off. Have you ever met the victim before? Well, I've seen him a couple of times before, when I had to go to Mr. Portsman's office. Mr. Faith was always playing basketball with Mr. Portsman, sir. That sounds like fun. Just once, I'd have loved to play with them. It sounds like fun, but the only person ever taking a shot was Mr. Portsman. All Mr. Faith ever did was pass him the ball, sir. On second thought, I don't think I'd have fit in at all that well with them. Okay. Maggie Bird, let's ask her about herself. Miss Maggie Bird, correct? I take it that you're an acquaintance of the detective. She was under my supervision a while back when she was still on the force, sir. Yeah, so Maggie is from the first three games. I can't remember which one exactly. They kind of all blur into one another for me. But she was a trainee officer. Or maybe just an officer. It doesn't matter. One day she got caught up in a murder and things started going downhill, so she quit. But I owe a lot to Detective Gumshoe for introducing me to my current employer. Or so I thought until a few hours ago. Right before I was about to clock out for the night. You got caught up in this whirlwind of a case, correct? Don't worry, my whole life has been nothing but a whirlwind of bad luck and failures. Oh. Things can only go up from here. Well, unless we fail and she gets done for murder, but I don't think that's going to happen. Since I was 6 months old when I fell from the 9th floor of my apartment building. How did you survive that? I've been hit by all sorts of vehicles, gotten sick from all sorts of foods, failed at almost every test I've taken, experienced almost every kind of disaster. Oh no, oh this poor woman. And now, I even managed to be named a criminal just when I've become a security guard. Oh wow, I don't know what to say. Well, at least you're still alive, and you do have a job. You know, that is an achievement. Yeah, maybe she just needs to think more positively. It could be worse. That's a lot to go through in one lifetime. I know, and just when I thought I'd finally found my happiness, wind up getting you and Detective Gumshoe involved in my bad luck. You don't need to worry about me, Miss Bird, nor do you need to worry about yourself. I will solve this case and prove your innocence. All I ask in return is for your cooperation. Yes, sir, Mr. Edgeworth, you can count on me. I'll do all I can to help. Okay, right, let's present some evidence to her then. Should we ask her about the key? kind of the main thing, right? I don't think she'd know anything about this stuff. But let's go with the key. So, when did you discover that the master key was missing? By the time I realised it, I think it was around 1 AM, sir. And I noticed it was back at around 2:30 AM. It was just sitting there on the ledge where the security room's reception window is. But I'm sure that between those 2 times it was not just gone, but stolen, sir. Okay, so we've got it updated now with the times that it was missing. Cool. Why is such an important key stored in such an insecure place? Yeah, it shouldn't be that easy to just take it. It's not like that, sir. We always keep the key further inside the room, away from the window. Always, you say, except for this time, correct? Well, I admit that was a bit careless, but I had my reasons. Which were? I left it out because I was sort of using it at the time. It was after I had used it that I left it sitting out on the ledge. Oh dear. She used the master key? What for? Maybe we can ask her about it. Yes, here. What did you mean by you used the master key? Oh, I had to use it to open the door for this prosecutor who had forgotten his key. Okay. I mean, it's my job as a security guard, right? Yeah. Ah. What is it? That's right, I just remembered the prosecutor who forgot his key. It was Mr. Portsman, sir. Uh-oh. What? Please, tell me more, Miss Bird, quickly. Oh, okay. It was around 12 AM. Mr. Portsman had forgotten his office key, so he came down to security, sir. And that's when you loaned the master key to him. No way. It's against regulations to loan the master key out to anyone. So did you go and open it for him then, maybe? I walked with Mr. Portsman to his office and opened the door for him personally, sir. Ah, it's next door, look, says the basketball net. I see. And then, what happened after that? Well, he called for me to come close up his office as he was leaving to go home. That was around 1:30 AM, I think. So, in summary, for the sake of one forgetful prosecutor, you used the master key twice tonight. Okay, so we've got an update again. Used to unlock and lock Portsman's office, right. Okay. Talk about suspicious. I doubt you can say that you've never left your keys at home, Detective. I think this calls for a thorough examination of Mr. Portsman's door. Yes. Okay, so we've done all we can with Maggie. We could probably present other stuff to her, but we'll do that if we end up, stuck. I don't think she'll have much more to say. Okay, so that's the thing that way. Let's keep going here. Let's talk to this guy. Why not? Let's exhaust everything. Is everything all right? Yes, sir. If you must know, I weighed myself this morning, and I'm finally at 154 pounds. Oh, you know what? Good for you. Well done for achieving the goals that you've set for yourself. Congratulations, but I was asking about this hallway and this room. Oh, everything's okay, sir. Yeah, why did his mind go to that? He must have been thinking about it before. A word of advice. Stay focused, or you may start to lose even more weight. Huh. What about him? I can't remember what his name was. It looks like you're in quite the pinch, Mr. Edgeworth. To be sure, a murder within the walls of the prosecutor's office is no trifling matter. We must find, apprehend, and punish the killer accordingly post-haste. Sounds like a messy case you've got on your hands. If you ever feel lost or need some advice, my door is always open. How gracious. I will keep your offer in mind. Who is this guy again? Yeah, he's the tutorial. Have a look at this basketball hoop. What is a basketball hoop doing here? Hey, didn't this used to be just outside next to the building a long time ago? So when and why was it moved indoors? I don't remember exactly, but I saw one of the officers drag it up here recently. Drag it? I heard that it wouldn't fit in the elevator, so the poor guy had to bring it himself. All the way up to the 12th floor? Yeah, ouch. Okay, let's examine the door. Let's look at the plate. Room 1203. I take it that this is Mr. Portsman's office? Yeah, you can't mistake it because of that basketball hoop, sir. Oh, that reminds me. Mr. Portsman had actually wanted room 1202 really badly. But since you were already occupying it, Mr. Edgeworth, we put him next door, sir. So, why was Portsman so particular about getting room 1202? Maybe he wanted the files from the previous person who occupied the room. Do you remember Edgeworth was just saying that the files are actually from a previous case from another prosecutor? I'm not sure, but I bet it's because of something like his birthday is December 2nd? Yep, that's gotta be it. I can't think of another reason why. I can think of at least 3. Why am I even wasting time thinking about this? Indeed. But I don't think that's just a, I think there's something more to it than that. Let's examine the door. The door is locked tight. I bet the old credit card trick wouldn't work here, huh, Mr. Edgeworth? This is the office of a high prosecutor, detective. These doors would be pretty ineffective if the average cat burglar could get through them. Aha! So I guess only a great cat burglar could get in. That must be who our culprit is. Might I advise you to return that conclusion to whatever pawn shop you bought it from? Okay. Let's look at the actual... Let's look at this first before we move on. It's Mr. Portsman's personal basketball hoop. I can't believe you put something like this in the hallway of a prosecutor's office. But, it's actually pretty useful, sir. I haven't gotten lost trying to get to your office since it's been here. Oh, can't you just remember it's on the 12th floor? Or write it down somewhere? How long have I had the same office, and yet you still managed to get lost? Oh, poor Gumshoe, that's why we love him though. He's a lovable oaf. A minimalist yet classy door made of top quality wood. It's kind of majestic too, fits in really well with the ambience of the prosecutor's offices. Even Mr. Portsman seems dignified just because he works behind one of these. Nonsense. A man doesn't become more or less dignified because of where he works. Well, he still seems more dignified than Mr. Payne. Oh, that's his name, Mr. Payne. That's the guy who Edgeworth just spoke to behind the barrier. Mr. Payne? I suppose custodial work can also be dignified. Okay. Can't do anything here. Maybe we could try piecing some things together. Okay. So, okay. Maggie used the key between 12 AM and 1:30. This key was stolen from 1 AM until 2:30. So, if she used the key at 1:30, then it went missing after that, after she put it back, right? Should we try putting these together? Let's try it. What have we got to lose? Except health. Oh, I got an achievement. Miss Bird, I'm afraid there's a flaw in your story. What? No way, pal. I mean, sir. You said that you locked up Mr. Portsman's office at around 1:30 AM, correct? However, the master key had already been stolen at that time. Wow! Nothing gets by you, Mr. Edgeworth. You saw that contradiction like a pro. I'd totally forgotten all about that, but thanks to you, I remember it now. That would make me think that she's suspicious, but honestly, she's like an open book. I don't think she's got it in her. You're right. It was around that very time that I realised the master key was missing. And? Well, I'm a security guard, sir. I couldn't just admit to losing the master key, could I? So I pretended to lock up his room, sir. Uh-oh. Oh, does that mean it's open? Can we go in and have a look? You pretended? Yeah, I used my house key and made it look like I was locking up, sir. So, in actuality, you never did relock the door then? Well, I thought that maybe I could go lock it after I found the key. Come to think of it, I guess the door still hasn't been locked properly. Aha, right. So it is open. We can go in and have a look. Let's snoop. So if we examine, maybe we can look at... Oh, look, we can deduce. Let's deduce. Oh, whoops. No. Go back. I forgot you have to line it up properly. So let's line it up with that. Let's deduce. Maybe we can use this one. Present. Eureka! Eureka! There's a contradiction here between reality and the evidence. If what Miss Bird has said is true, then why is this door locked tight? Indeed. Oh, it is locked. Right. Okay. So yeah, if she lost the key, or it was stolen, and couldn't lock it, then somebody used it to lock his office. I mean, it's obviously Portsman himself, right? It might have been Buddy. You know, you're right. Miss Bird, are you sure you didn't relock this door? I'm certain of it, sir. And I don't think Mr. Portsman noticed it himself that I hadn't. Which means what, sir? It either means that he actually does have the key to his office, or that the door Miss Bird opened wasn't this one at all, but a completely different one. Oh, interesting theory. She opened a different door? But how can you prove that? There's an easy way to find out. All we need to do is... we need to examine these. Ah, okay. Well, the prints on the master key wouldn't show anything. Surely it would just have Maggie's fingerprints or someone else's fingerprints. Prints on the doorknob. Maybe the prints on the doorknob, because if she's the one who opened and closed the door for him, then her fingerprints should be on the doorknob, right? But if her fingerprints aren't on the doorknob, then it can't have been this door that she opened. And Edgeworth's right that she opened a different door. I'm going to try that. And why have I got... Oh, it's taken over from... Why have I got health missing already? Did I make a mistake? I made a mistake earlier. Let's go with doorknob. The prints on the doorknob will tell us everything. Hey, you! Yeah, you, pal. Do us a favour and see what you can lift from this, okay? So, what did you find out? There's no need for such belligerent nostril flaring, Detective. He's really passionate. He wants to protect Maggie. Sir, I've found only Mr. Portsman's and Mr. Faith's prints on this doorknob, sir. Oh, I added a sir and I didn't need to. Well, he's extra polite. So, only 2 people's prints were found on this, huh? That's pretty decisive. Huh? I'm lost, sir. Thinking logically, a certain other person's prints should be on this knob as well. Now then, whose prints should also be on this doorknob? Which should be Maggie, because she's the one who allegedly opened the door for him.
Take that!
Take that. Don't you find it odd that the prints of the person who unlocked this door are absent? You mean... Yes, the door that Miss Bird opened could not have been this one, but a different one. Oh, maybe it was Edgeworth's office then. Interesting. What have we here? A note. Okay, we're not going to go for the obvious though straight away. We're going to go for the basketball, just to get, you know. Oh, look. Is this basketball property of Mr. Portsman? Yes, sir. He's always ready for a match. Basketball, soccer, dodgeball, tennis. It doesn't matter what sport it is, he's game. Although, I think it would be a little hard to play tennis with this ball, I mean, yeah. That isn't the point you should be focusing on, Detective. You're right, sir. Now I know what I should be focusing on. Bad, Mr. Portsman. Someone should teach him to clean up his toys after he's done playing. Why didn't Portsman become an athlete? Like, what? Why a prosecutor? He's clearly, like, passionate about sports. I think we've reached the end of this conversation. Yeah, we have. I'm not going to examine that. I think we've examined the oh, hang on. I was just about to say, we've examined the basketball hoop plenty. But look, there's like an indent in the carpet. It's been moved, but why and when? It looks like it would have been recently, right? Because otherwise that indent would have slowly started to come back up. Let's have a look at it. I'm going to go for the note, I promise, but I'm intrigued. What's this? What are you looking at, sir? Oh, hey, how about a game? No, Gumshoe, look closer. That's okay, Detective. I just found the position of this hoop to be a little off. Hey, you're right, sir. I guess it shifted when someone made a seriously sweet slam dunk. I love Gumshoe. The positioning of the hoop is definitely unnatural. I'd better take note of this. Basketball hoop data jotted down in my organiser. Right, now let's look at the note. What is this? Looks like a scrap of paper. I'll get it, sir. Let's see. Oh, there's something written on it. Looks like a note from the victim. Let's read it. I brought the 3 pieces of evidence by, just like we talked about on the phone, but it looks like you're out. Guess I'll catch up to you later, buddy. Yeah, and it's for Mr. Portsman. Note left by victim, data jotted down. Okay. Let's look at the door. Is it going to say anything different? No. It's all the same as what we looked at before when we examined the door directly. Let's go back. I wonder if we can examine Edgeworth's store again. Let's look at the nameplate, the number plate. These 4 numbers on a number plate alone proclaim this to be my office. Whoops! Hey, these number plates slide right out, sir. They have to be able to take the plate off when a room becomes vacant, you know. Although, the idea that it can be so easily removed is kind of, oh, I'm having a brainwave. So, they can be taken out. The basketball hoop was moved. Maggie says she opened a door, but it definitely wasn't Portsman's door because her fingerprints aren't on the doorknob. So maybe Portsman moved the hoop next to Edgeworth's room, swapped the labels on the doors, and got her to actually open Edgeworth's door. Because Maggie said that she couldn't lock it, right? She couldn't lock the door after her. Well, Portsman's office is locked, but Edgeworth, when he first came up to the door, well, he said, didn't he? It's unlocked. That's weird. I think we're figuring it out. Let's have a look at the door. I don't see any signs of forced entry. And according to the guard, no signs that the lock was picked either, sir. Meaning that the door really was opened with a key. Did you happen to ask if any prints were lifted from the doorknob? Apparently the doorknob's clean as a whistle. Wiped, they think. That's suspicious. Whoever this thief is, they did a good job of not leaving any clues behind. Yeah, almost like they're a prosecutor who knows about evidence. Oh, we did it. Okay, that was what we needed to do. Yay, I got my health back. Poking around in this hallway has actually paid off quite handsomely. Huh? How so, sir? In a variety of different ways. I think it's time we had a little chat with the real culprit of this case. You know who the killer is? Why, Mr. Edgeworth? As long as my logic is sound, then yes. The mastermind behind this murder is none other than Mr. Portsman. What? Mr. Portsman? I knew it. That's exactly what my logic senses were telling me too. I suspected it was him from the instant he accused Maggie of being the killer, sir. That is anything but logical. Lady and gentlemen, prepare yourselves. Come what may, it's time to knock on Truth's door. Let's get him. Okay, we're in Edgeworth's office. He's got a great view, look at that nighttime cityscape. Mr. Portsman, I've finished processing the bloody letters, sir. Alright, let me take a gander at it. Pass it here. Okay, looking good. You there, take good care of this. Oh, that hit Edgeworth in the face. Not Edgeworth, Gumshoe. Oh, is he okay? Well, if it isn't Detective Gumshoe. End of the line for you, Portsman. We've got you now. Call off your dog, Mr. Edgeworth. Is this some kind of joke? It's no joke. We know, Mr. Jacques Portsman, that you are the guilty party in this case. Oh. You must be pretty upset getting chased out of your own room. I'd be mad too. So I guess you can stay, if you promise to stay out of our way. You intend to hide your crime under the guise of a prosecutor doing his job? I can see right through the unsightly, paper-thin mask you wear upon your cowl. He's so wordy. So articulate. Haha, who'd have ever thought it would come to this? Actually, come to think of it, your mentor was Manfred von Karma, right? The legendary prosecutor who never lost a single case for 40 long years. Oh no, he's doing that coat thing again. But there was always this incessant chatter about forged evidence with that guy. Uh-oh. Really teaches me that I've got to stay on the lookout for false accusations, you know? Are you done trying to play mind games with me? Because they won't work. The only thing you should be using that mouth of yours for now is explaining yourself. Although that too will only dig your hole deeper. Either way, your game is up. Well, aren't we full of ourselves, even though you have yet to prove anything? Oh, I'll prove it. We've got so much evidence against you. I have no idea what sort of harebrained idea you have in mind, but there's a mountain of evidence that points away from me being the culprit. Besides, how, may I ask, do you propose that I unlocked your door and got in here? Oh, we can definitely present for this part of his testimony. Look, I feel bad doing this to you, but I've got work to do, so we're done here. That was short. Okay. Sorry, but we are not finished yet. Boy, you're stubborn. I suppose you're basing your accusations on something? I'll show you what I'm basing my accusation on. With evidence. Yeah, evidence. Okay. Right. There's nothing here. There's nothing to press or present for this one. I'm just going to go next. There's a mountain of evidence that points away from me being the culprit. Should we press him? What evidence? Mountain? Yeah.
Hold it.
Oh, and what, pray tell, kind of evidence are we talking about here? Jim was my partner, so you can't say I had a motive for killing him. And that's it. That's not even an anthill, let alone a mountain. Yeah, like, you could have secretly hated him or something. But it's more than enough, wouldn't you agree? Might I recommend that you review what the word evidence means? It doesn't change the fact that the evidence doesn't point to me as the killer. Besides, how, may I ask, do you propose I unlocked your door and got in here? Oh, we're going to present some evidence to you. I guess we do the key. It would either be the key or this. Let's go with the key because she said she used it to unlock his. Or do we go for Maggie? It's one or the other, isn't it? It's either going to be Maggie or the key, and they're kind of the same thing. So let's go with the... Let's present this to him and we'll see. It's not the end of the world if we lose a little bit of health.
Objection!
Oh, objection. That was it. I believe you were able to open my office door. With the master key, no less.
Objection!
You can't object to my objection. Wait. Hold on for a sec. I never laid a finger on that key, as you already know. Precisely. You were able to open my door without lifting a single finger. Well, maybe you did, but only to direct. Oh, he's sweating. I like how the sweat stops at his sweatband. That's right. You used your finger to direct this person to open my door with the key. It's... Gumshoe. No, it's Maggie.
Take that!
You had asked Miss Bird to open your own office door for you, yes? Yeah, I kind of forgot my key at home. Happens a bit too often for my taste, you know. But the room you had Miss Bird open at that time was not your own, was it? What? You have quite the imagination. But why don't we ask the girl herself whose door she opened, shall we? I'm certain that it was Mr. Portsman's door, sir. I checked the number plate to make sure I was opening the right door, sir. See, Miss Bird backs up my story. Yeah, but no. We know. Yet, what if you had misled her to fool her into thinking what you wanted? And how do you suppose I did that? By switching the number plates on our doors, for example. That's right, they do slide out pretty easily. Furthermore, you then used one other thing to give a very strong impression. That the door she was opening was yours and not, in fact, mine. It's the basketball hoop. We saw the indent. What was it that Mr. Portsman used to make Miss Bird think that this was his room? The hoop. There are signs that it's been moved.
Take
No.
that!
What? The basketball hoop, sir? It's quite the peculiar fixture in any hallway, let alone a hallway in this building. Which is why it left an unusually strong impression on you. It's an object perfectly suited to sit just outside the office of a peculiar prosecutor. Gwah! That's very true, sir, because there was a basketball hoop sitting there. I thought the door I was opening had to be Mr. Portsman's. There are signs that the hoop has been moved. To sit it in front of my office, to be sure. I see. So that's how you throw suspicion on people. Thanks for the tip. I wonder if they could, fingerprint the hoop? Or surely they have CCTV in this corridor, right? Like security cameras or something. Surely in a prosecutor's building where there's evidence around, and maybe they don't. But I think your conjecture is a little off the racetrack. I don't. But go on, let's see how you try and turn this around. Now you're just spouting nonsense. I had the girl open my office door. After that, I was in my room the entire time. You don't have a single reason to suspect me. Okay, well, if you were in your room the entire time, how did you lock it behind you? Because you forgot your key. You told us you forgot your key. And there's also that letter from Buddy. Yeah, huh. So, he intends to claim his innocence to the end, does he? I'm as pure and innocent as my jacket. And Miss Bird is as dirty and guilty as the jacket she wears. How can a jacket be guilty? My jacket's not dirty, I'll have you know. I just washed it yesterday. Please, calm down, for I intend to show who is the one truly covered in slime here. Okay, let's see what he's got to say for himself. Okay, we're not going to do anything with this because there's nothing. Had the girl open my office door. Okay. After that, I was in my room the entire time. They don't have a single reason to suspect me. Well, Maggie said that she didn't have the key, right? So, yeah, how could he have locked it after? So let's press him first and see what he gives away, and then maybe we can present some evidence.
Hold it!
Using the master key, of course. Sure, you have a problem with that? That is what the master key is for, right? Perhaps we should place it in an elaborate labyrinth of some sort for people like you. Okay, that was nothing then. We'll press him on this.
Hold it!
And what were you doing in your office? I was doing my usual training regime. Training regime? Were you going through your law books from start to finish? Mainly batting practice and some weights. Oh, and I jog when I get the chance. Do you do any work? Like that's not your job. That's your hobby. You need to do that outside of work. You must be the buffest prosecutor we have. I don't know, look at how wide Edgeworth's chest is. And how broad his shoulders are. His shoulders are broader than gumshoes. And look how thick his neck is. Everyone in this game's got quite a thick neck though. With the weakest legal muscles, it would seem. I was doing my usual workout, so you don't have a single reason to suspect me. Let's press him on this.
Hold it!
I think I've given you quite a few reasons, actually. But none of those would stand up on their own.
Objection!
Just objecting each other. Then what about all the evidence?
Objection!
It's all circumstantial. No judge would convict on such flimsy evidence. He seems to be trembling a little. One more little push. All I have to do is find the flaw in his testimony. Okay, I think we can do it. It's either presenting for this bit or this bit. Or it might be this bit. Let's try either way. Yeah, that's it. Okay. It'll be this one then, won't it? I had the girl open my office door, but that's impossible because there were no prints on the doorknob. Let's present that. Okay, we are narrowing in on him. I had your door dusted for prints. My door? Huh? What for? Come on, I bet you didn't find anything. You sure are good at wasting time. You're right, I didn't find anything. And definitely not Miss Bird's fingerprints. Her prints? What do they have to do with anything? Let's put it this way. If she really was the one who opened your door, then her prints should naturally be on the doorknob she touched. Further, all of the prints on my office door's knob have been wiped clean off. I can only assume it's because Miss Bird's fingerprints were on it.
Objection!
But it doesn't change the fact that I was in my room the entire time. Is that really a fact, or is it fiction? Hey, would I lie to you? You've done nothing but lie to us. Oh, this guy. I have here proof that you were not in your room the entire time, as you claim. I think it's going to be this letter, right? This note, because he didn't get it if he was in his room. Buddy came to his door and knocked, but he didn't answer. We presume he knocked.
Take that!
This is a note that the victim left for you, Mr. Portsmouth. A note? It was left under your door. Or did you not notice? And right here it says, "But you're out." You were not in your room when the victim came to call on you. So then, where were you and what were you doing? Ah! Don't you think it's time you gave up your charade? We know you stole into my office with the intent of stealing something from me, and Detective Faith found you out. Possibly because he heard sounds coming from a room whose occupant was on leave. There it is. Yeah, this is the... Oh, this is the bit that haunts me, because I totally just wiped it from my brain after I saw it. And then throughout the demo, the first part of this series, I was like, is he the killer? Yes, he's the killer. And when I was editing it, as soon as I started playing the video to edit, I was like, oh no. Oh no. Uh-oh. Anyway. Mr. Portsman, you killed Mr. Faith to silence him. And I had the misfortune to return when I did. You had to threaten me as you escaped. As I said when you had the gun to my back, no one gets away with committing murder in my office. Yeah, Edgewood's golden rule. And just what's so funny, pal? Well, that look of stiff seriousness on the face of this office's finest prosecutor, as he makes a huge mistake in accusing me, is simply too much to bear. There's just nothing else like it in the world. What? Mr. Edgeworth just explained it all, and he even backed it up. You're the murderer. Stop trying to be slippery and just admit to the crime already. And as I said earlier, it's all so circumstantial, so full of conjecture. You say you checked my doorknob for prints. Well, I can readily confess that I had wiped that knob down well. Huh? I'm a little obsessive-compulsive, you see. I didn't want to touch a doorknob that you had touched, which is why I wiped the knob down as soon as I could after you opened the door. After that, it makes perfect sense that only Jim's and my own prints would be on there. You made that up just now, didn't you? Furthermore, as for the note Jim left for me, do you know exactly when that was? For all we know, he could have left it there before I arrived at the office. Like, early evening, for example. Then you would have had to step over it, and surely the motion of opening and closing the door would have shifted it a little bit, right? Are you saying you failed to notice a note in your doorway? Hey, even geniuses fail at times. I was probably too preoccupied by work-related matters, although that's no excuse. Now that's just a flat-out lie. There's no way you didn't notice a note that size. Ah, but you can't prove that, can you? Say something, Mr. Edgeworth. Back me up here, sir. Portsman makes a good point. I can't prove that he didn't simply overlook it. Yeah, you can't prove that. No one could. Besides, I have an airtight alibi. Airtight, you say? I only just realised I had one as we were talking. I guess it would have been better for all of us had I told you sooner. Oh, who's your alibi? Is it the basketball hoop? Because that's not an alibi. If memory serves, you came back to this office at around 2 AM, correct? And it was then that you had that unfortunate confrontation at gunpoint with the culprit. But at exactly that time, I was down in criminal affairs. Ask around. I'm sure the other detectives will corroborate my story. It's the perfect alibi. Ah. Do you really think it's that perfect? Like I said, I don't care. Ask around all you like. You'll see for yourself. Detective Gumshoe. Sir, yes, sir. I'll go check out his alibi, sir. Be right back. See how reliable he is? Mr. Edgeworth, sir, I think we're in trouble. It's just like Mr. Portsman said. The guys down in criminal affairs said they saw him at around 2 AM. You see? All of the evidence points to him being the culprit. Yeah, surely the evidence outweighs... Well, you can't go against an alibi, right? But maybe the timings are a little bit off. So there must be a contradictory point in his alibi somewhere. Let's remind ourselves of the times. Let's press him. We can't check it just now unless we... Oh, we can. Let's have a look. Yeah, the body was found at 2:05 AM. Right. Well, let's just keep pressing him then. It was around 2 a.m. Are you sure? It's really important to me that you're spot on with the time. I remember checking my watch then, and make no mistake, it was 2. Ooh, giving testimony like a pro. Okay, so you came back to your office at 2. And it was then that you had that unfortunate confrontation at gunpoint with the culprit. Let's press him.
Hold it!
It is, as you say, however. Yes, however, you are the only one who claims to have bumped into the culprit. So, tell me, did you see the person's face? Was it me who you saw? It was pitch black, so I couldn't actually see.
Objection!
Why are you objecting then? Oh, come now, I'm sure you saw something. Try a little harder, why don't you? I'm beginning to feel like I'm the one being interrogated here. Oh well, it doesn't matter if you remember or not. It only matters that you ran into the culprit. But at exactly that time, I was down in criminal affairs.
Hold it!
What were you doing there? So, you paid the criminal affairs department a visit. Yep, right after I left the prosecutor's building, I headed straight for the precinct. Ask around. I'm sure the other detectives were okay.
Hold it!
Well, we did go and ask around to confirm your testimony. And it was just as I said, right? Yes, sir. A number of detectives said that they saw you at around that time. See? I have the perfect alibi. That's the ace I had up my sleeve. Ugh! Impossible! He actually does have the perfect alibi. What's wrong? Why the sudden sullen look on your face? Can't you say anything back, Mr. Edgeworth? Huh. I think we've reached the end of the line, and it's time to get off this crazy train. You there. Sir. Please escort the young lady out, but remember, be gentle. Maggie! Detective Gumshoe! Oh, what's going to happen? Is there nothing I can do? There must be a way to turn this situation around. If only I had a clue. Did I miss something that can help me cast doubt on his alibi? Oh, do we need to go and check out criminal affairs? I need to calmly think this through one more time, and with logic. Oh, okay, right. Well, yeah, the gun is a little bit of a question mark in this, isn't it? Shall we go gun and alibi? Because the guns are detective's guns, right? Maybe he went to criminal affairs and had somebody else come up here. Maybe he's in league with someone else. Let's try it. If not, we'll try something else, but I think that could be it. There were 2 bullets left at the scene of the crime. One that robbed Mr. Faith of his life, and one that nearly robbed me of my jacket. However, the murder weapon only shows signs of being fired once, meaning that it is entirely possible that a second gun was used in my office tonight. But seeing as how the killer had to steal Mr. Faith's gun, I doubt the killer had another gun up their sleeve. Therefore, the second gun could have been the property of an entirely different person, which could mean that there was another person who paid a visit to my office tonight. So Portsman definitely killed Buddy. We can only connect those, so let's do that. Supposing there was yet another visitor tonight, that would also resolve the issue of why my shelves were appended twice. We know that the shelves were disturbed once before and once after the murder, so it shouldn't be much of a stretch to think that it was the work of 2 different people. Once by the person who stole the victim's gun and then killed him with it, and once again after the murder by our second culprit, who was the owner of the second gun. If we suppose that the second culprit's gun was the one that was pointed at my back,
Objection!
Mr. Portsman, it seems that I need to amend my assumptions regarding this case. Great, so you've finally come to your senses. Mr. Edgeworth? Sir, what are you saying? This has been a big misunderstanding on my part from the start. I had assumed that the person I ran into was the killer. That may not be the case. What do you mean? The person I ran into was just your average thief. A thief? But sir, doesn't that cause some sort of contradiction in the facts? Not at all. It simply means that the killer was someone else. And it means that in actuality, 2 culprits stole into my office tonight. What do you mean, 2? It explains both why my shelves were disturbed twice and how there were 2 guns. Mr. Portsman tricked Miss Bird and gained entry into my office.
Objection!
Now you're just leading the argument. You still don't have any actual proof, you know. If you could please go along with my hypothetical scenario for now, Mr. Portsman. In the end, if you really are innocent, you should have nothing to worry about. Urgh. Now then, returning to my scenario, Mr. Portsman was out to steal something from me, which is why he checked my secret safe and ransacked my shelves. This is the first time. So then this would be when the files were put back in the wrong order, right? Correct. And then, just when he was about to look somewhere else, who should walk in but his own partner, Mr. Faith? But why did Mr. Faith come into your room, sir? He probably had business with Mr. Portsman, which is why he was in the area. But that's when he noticed sounds coming from my office, would be my guess. Oh, because you were supposed to be away, right? And he must have thought it was odd, so he came into this office to check it out. Correct, and as a detective, that was the right thing to do. But when he came in, he found his own partner standing there. Because it was Mr. Portsman, Mr. Faith probably let his guard down. But Mr. Portsman was not so merciful as to let him leave alive. He waited for a chance and stole Mr. Faith's gun from him, and then he killed him. He silenced Mr. Faith for catching him in the act of stealing. Uh-oh. This should be like evidence in of itself. This was the moment in which the first shot was fired, the one that landed in my files. Following that, Mr. Portsman wiped the gun down and left it behind as he made his exit. He could afford to do that because he had also left the fake dying message behind. You're such a complicated troublemaker, you know that? Well, if things were as simple as that, then it would all be solved. However, there was yet another visitor to my room, and this is where it gets complicated. There was another visitor, sir? Yes, and this other person's objective was also to steal something from me. Now then, even after Mr. Portsman left, the door to my office remained unlocked. However, this new visitor had no way of knowing that, and so they stole the master key from the security guard's room, and then entered my room and searched through my shelves. This was the second time they were disturbed, and it seems the thief found their prize. The stolen 0 file, right, sir? Correct. Only just as the thief was about to leave with the file, I appeared. The thief then threatened me with their own gun and made their escape. The second bullet was fired during that brief encounter. So the shelves getting messed up twice and the 2 bullets. It was all because 2 different people were doing those things at 2 different times. Ah, it's starting to make sense. Well, I mean, makes sense, yes, but we've got a totally different culprit to find. Precisely. So now do you see, Mr. Portsman? The person I met was just a thief and was not, in fact, Mr. Faith's killer. Your alibi for the time frame in which I ran into the other person is now irrelevant. because we now know that the murder took place during the first culprit's visit.
Objection!
Ha ha ha. What's so funny, pal? Absolutely splendid. Your scenario explains everything. Of course it does. It's Mr. Edgeworth after all. But, you know, it still doesn't change the fact that it's all circumstantial. Supposing if, and that's a big if, your theory is right. It would indeed render my alibi, which has withstood scrutiny, mind you, irrelevant. But there is still one defining point of your argument for which you have no evidence. Your supposition that I was the first visitor. Mr. Edgeworth, you can't let him get away with that, sir. But he has a point. I have absolutely no proof at this point. Don't say that, sir. I don't believe this. Don't worry, Maggie. I'll do something if I must. You know something? I find your attitude to be somewhat peculiar, Mr. Edgeworth. If the person you met really was just a plain old thief, then why is that person not your main suspect? That is, if your theory is correct. Another one. Alibi part 2. That thief you ran into should be your real suspect, wouldn't you say? We should be out there looking for that thief right now. They might still be nearby. I hate to repeat myself, but as I've already said, I was training in my room. And when Jim came to deliver some evidence to me, I was down at Criminal Affairs. So I can't be expected to know what happened around here after I left. So, you think we should be out there looking for the thief? Of course, now isn't the time to be having these dead-end discussions. I don't think it's at all dead-ended. I find your alibi to be fascinating. Let's continue where we left off, shall we? Uh-oh. I know he's lying. I know he was here at the scene of the crime. I just have to find a way to prove it. How? I'm stumped. Let's just press him on everything, see what we can get out of him. Actually, no, I wouldn't. Why not? That's elementary. The dying message, of course. Mr. Faith's killer very clearly left those letters on the spines of those files. Why is it upside down, though? That's what I don't get. I don't understand why the writing of Gumshoe is upside down. Maybe we'll figure that out later. And it was after they were on there that the thief stole one of them. You mean the zero files, right? And that's how we also know the letters themselves were a setup and not from Mr. Faith. If the thief was the killer, do you think they would try to undermine themselves? Maybe the killer just didn't think of that earlier. Yes, that must be it. Maybe, just maybe. We should be out there looking for that thief right now. They might still be nearby.
Hold it!
Once escaped, I highly doubt a thief would linger nearby. Well, you never know. Maybe they didn't get what they were really after. Oh, you talk like you know quite a bit about this thief. It's nothing like that. I have no idea about anything, after all. I hate to repeat myself, but as I've already said, I was training in my room.
Hold it!
If only we could get in his room and have a look. But according to Mr. Faith's note... Hold on, I thought we already cleared that up. Didn't we say that Jim left that note for me in the early evening? If you had proof that he left it at a different time, say just before he was murdered. I don't have any, no. You see? So I insist again that I was in my office the entire time. And when Jim came to deliver some evidence to me, I was down... Well, that totally contradicts what you've just said. So he's just said that he thinks Jim, or Buddy, left the note earlier in the evening. But now he's saying when Jim came to deliver some evidence, I was at Criminal Affairs. Let's press him and see if Edgeworth picks up on that. Why didn't you go there with Mr. Faith? Ah, that's because he said he was tired and was going to take a quick nap. You know those sofas in the hallway? He likes to sleep on those. It's one of his habits. Is he basically just another gumshoe? And what of the evidence he brought? They were things related to yesterday's case. Just 2 items, a gun and a pendant. Interesting. This piece of testimony seems too crucial to let slip through the cracks. Yeah, I'm gonna... Should we press him again? This added another bit to the testimony.
Hold it!
A gun and a pendant. Yes, this gun, which was the murder weapon. And this pendant, which belonged to the victim. Oh, wait. The gun that was the murder weapon, but that was left in the room. Oh, he's just totally exposed himself, hasn't he? And why were you taking them to Criminal Affairs? There was something in a past case file I wanted to compare these two to. Well, this has nothing to do with the case right now. Anyway, I believe you'll find the long paper trail I left to be to your satisfaction. Or maybe he means the gun was the murder weapon in yesterday's case rather than the murder weapon for this case. I think I've misunderstood that. This is all matching up with what Detective Gumshoe found out. So I can't be expected to know what happened around here after I left that press.
Hold it!
I think I've got what we need to do though. Let's get through this. I can't expect you to know, can I? Nope, but I guess you can expect me to take a guess based on logical deductions. Oh, then let's see you deduce. Jim waited for me to leave and then stole the master key. For the purpose of sneaking into your room, of course. And that's when Miss Bird caught him red-handed and the murder occurred. It's all exactly as I had laid out earlier. I know he's lying. I know he was here at the scene of the crime. I just have to find a way to prove it. Okay, we're going to prove it. No, it's not that. I think here we need to present Buddy's note, because it says here I brought the 3 pieces of evidence by, like we talked about on the phone, but it looks like you're out. Guess I'll catch up to you later. We either present that here or we present it here, because Buddy's note says 3 items. Yeah, let's present it here. I think that's going to be it. Let's do that. Oh, sorry, wrong button. Present. Yeah, that's it. Only 2 pieces? I believe the proper phrase here is, you fail. Excuse me? You fail as a prosecutor, Mr. Portsman, as you intend to keep evidence hidden from me. What are you talking about? I haven't hidden anything from you. Well, here's a piece I think you should read. Carefully. Ah, it says that Mr. Faith was bringing 3 pieces. Yes, and this is the victim's real dying message to you, Mr. Portsman. I can't believe to get tripped up by simple arithmetic. Where is the missing piece of evidence? It's... You have it, don't you? Only the guilty would make such a face. Detective Gumshoe. You don't have to say it, sir. I'll pat the guy down from head to toe. What? Don't come any closer. I'm warning you. This is all part of the investigation, pal. So don't even think about stopping me. No! Hey, what's this? He had this on him, sir. Oh, a VHS. Despite what you said, it would appear that you do have something to hide. But why would he hide something like that? There's only one reason why anyone would hide evidence of this calibre. Because it would unequivocally point to that person himself as the real killer. let's examine this videotape in a little more detail for the section of the tape that would drive the last nail into his coffin. Oh, oh, blood. Let's do the title of it first. KG-8 incident. That's a police case number, sir. Does that mean that this video is evidence from that case? Interesting. However, what's recorded on this isn't what's important right now. Let's give the casing a thorough once over. Yeah, let's look at that blood stain. Ah, that's blood, isn't it? Yes, and I believe this is what the good prosecutor was trying to hide from us. This blood is still fresh. You mean this might be Detective Faith's blood? No. You've got it all wrong. No amount of denial can save you. We have but to run a blood test to find the truth. You told us that you had received evidence from the victim earlier. Now, you will tell us when and how did the victim's blood find its way onto this video. Yeah, it's totally suspicious. Was it at the moment of his death? Did Detective Faith have this videotape on his personage when you killed him? You know very well there's no way to prove that. Not even if we were to examine this tape for fingerprints. Gah. Yeah, we're wearing him down. If I had to take a guess, I'd say that the only ones on here would belong to the murderous you and Mr. Faith. No, impossible. I'm... Sorry, I missed the piercing scream, but I'll save your eardrums. He ate his medal. I hope that it was a chocolate coin. Even then, he'd have to eat the foil around the chocolate coin, but for the sake of bringing him to justice. Okay, looks like he's gone. The body's gone. Mr. Portsman has been placed under arrest for the murder of Detective Buddy Faith, sir. Very good. And the results we got back from the lab techs on the tape turned out to be real solid, sir. The blood work came back and it was definitely Mr. Faith's blood on there. And as a bonus, they were also able to lift a few of Mr. Faith's fingerprints as well. Thank you so very much, Mr. Edgeworth. I still can't believe I got to see your cool deduction skills outside the courtroom. I'm impressed beyond words, sir. It was nothing. I'm just sorry you got caught up in a murder in my office. Please, accept my apologies. He's so suave. So charming. Oh, it was nothing, really, compared to what I've been through, I mean. Yeah, being dropped. What did she say? When she was 6 months old, being dropped from the 9th floor or falling from the 9th floor. Yeah, it pales in comparison. I'm surprised she's alive. I consider myself lucky that it was only a burglary and a murder this time, sir. If it had been a hold-up or a hostage situation, I'd have thrown my hands up in the air. I think I'm finally rising up from goddess of misfortune to just an unlucky person. Something tells me we should have hired a different person for security detail. Yeah, absolutely. She's far too unlucky. You know something, sir? That Mr. Portsman really was one corrupt prosecutor. And why would you say he was corrupt? Well, I heard that there were a number of suspicious things related to his court cases. There's even rumours about how some of the evidence he uses is forged, sir. Forged evidence, huh? And they say he even decided not to prosecute a few cases for some really vague reasons. Oh, that guy was a complete disgrace to the entire profession. We never did get around to asking what his reason was for breaking into my office. Yeah, whenever we got near that topic, he just clammed up. Although, we can be pretty certain that it was to steal something. This is just between me and you, sir, but there's a rumour that some sort of huge organisation is involved behind the scenes. Is this going to be like the running thread throughout the whole game? And then in the final case, it all comes to a head and we finally figure out this organisation. Oh, well. With Mr. Portsmouth not willing to divulge anything, it certainly leads credence to that rumour. It would seem that we haven't heard the last of this. Huh? Then Mr. Portsmouth isn't the bad guy? I didn't say that, but rather that there are still many more mysteries for us to solve. For example, we still haven't figured out the significance to this piece of evidence. Is it the file? Yeah, a case tried 10 years ago. Must be, right? Let's try it.
Take that!
The person who stole this file, the other villain of the night. Yeah, I wonder who it was. And what happened to the stolen pages? I wonder, who in the world was it that held me up at gunpoint? Mr. Edgeworth, sir. Yes? I came across this while I was processing your office earlier, sir. This card. Ah, what is it? What is it, sir? Is that a bird or something on there? It's not just any bird. It is the mark of the raven. A three-legged raven. I'm not seeing a raven. I can see the wings. And I can see the feet. Yeah, whatever. Even you should know what this is, Detective. Oh, it's about that thing, isn't it? That great thief everyone's talking about. Yes, it is the mark of the great thief, Yatagarasu. Under the mark of a legendary bird, the Yatagarasu is noble to the end, a modern Robin Hood. Labelled mysterious and phantom-like, the Yatagarasu appears and vanishes at will. Oh, they're like a vigilante. Though we don't know much about this thief's ultimate goal, we do know the targets. The Yatagarasu likes to find and make public evidence of corrupt dealings of all sorts. The theft is always performed in silence, and always with perfection. Yeah, the person who held Edgeworth up didn't actually say anything. Once a target is chosen, no dramatic calling card or announcement is sent forth. Instead, the chosen corporation is infiltrated without the target noticing. Some days later, the evidence that was found is sent out to the mass media, along with this single card. Although it has been a while since the Yatagarasu's last appearance. Hey, Mr. Edgeworth, look, something's written on the back. What? Let me see. It's the location of where the thief put the stolen files. So, the person who stole the contents of the file was the Yatagarasu? Yatagarasu. Organisation. Quite a few key words are popping up in this mystery. The murder in my office. The return of the great thief, Yatagarasu. Looking back, I can't say I didn't see these events coming. For they were heralded by the incidents that began to occur 2 days ago. Oh, that's the end of Case 1, Episode 1. Let's save. Yeah, completing. I got an achievement for completing Episode 1 without using story mode. So I think the story mode is like an accessibility feature. I'm going to save in a new slot for being able to play just story mode, I suppose, without having to do the deductions, having to figure out what evidence to present and things. If you just want to enjoy the story as a mystery tale, you can play on story mode. But I like the puzzles, I like the mystery, I like feeling smart when I figure things out. Okay, cool. Right, well, let's go back. And now we can move on to episode 2. But I'm going to end the video there. Thank you so much for sticking with this video right to the end. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to leave a like if you did enjoy it. It really helps the algorithm. It really helps my channel grow, which will help me to make more videos. I do definitely want to carry on playing this game, going through all of the different cases, the episodes. There are 5 in total. So yeah, looking forward to the next one. It'll be up in a couple of days, hopefully, and I'll catch you next time. Bye bye.